Welcome everyone to a new vlog. Today we are in Mumbai, in the city of dreams. We are at the very prestigious Ambit House in Lower Parel. This is where one of India's super GMs, Vidit Gujrathi, is going to do a simul. He's going to play against 16 opponents, and here he is entering with Dr. Nidhi Kataria, his fiancee. Vidit is the brand ambassador of Ambit, and once a year he visits their offices and does something very cool with them. We're going to see that later in the vlog. For now, he's here on the 5th floor, and just before the event begins, he has some work to do. These are the chess boards which are signed by 12 stalwarts of Indian chess. 5 players of the Indian Olympiad team, Open, 5 players of the Indian women's team in the Olympiad, the gold medal winning team, and Humpy and Anand. Vidit is the only one left here, and these boards are going to be used as silent auctions here for money to be raised for young talents of Indian chess via Help Chess. That was an amazing gesture by Ambit, and Vidit, of course, obliged with his signature. We use these boards to get signs at New York at the World Rapid and Blitz, then at the Bangalore event. You can see there Anand, Gukesh, Humpy, Harika, everyone's signed that chess board. So it's a very, very special one. And then Vidit also signed a few t-shirts as giveaways, so that people who come at the event get these for the right answers that they give and so on. So it was a very well planned event. Nidhi was sitting there, and we decided to ask her what she felt would be Vidit's score at the simul, and this is what she had to say.
Should I be honest?
Yes, yes. Honestly, why?
I think 10 he'll win.
10.
Your underestimation.
She hasn't done.
1
She
second.
did 10, she'll win.
10 he'll
10 he'll
win.
win.
16 total. 4 he'll draw.
Okay.
And 2 he'll make some blunder and lose.
Nidhi was surely underestimating Vidit there. But soon she asked, what was the score last time?
Last time का score क्या था?
Out of 16.
16 था? Oh. Okay. ये मत डालना.
ये तो पहले जाएगा.
Last time का score 16 था, so I have clearly underestimated. 17.
अच्छा, last time 17 players थे. Oh.
At this point, Vidit came up with a statement that was very, very cute.
But this time the difficulty is also more. I'll be distracted.
Right outside the simul was the place where the silent auction was held. There were 2 chess boards, one which was going to the highest bidder, the other would go to Ambit, who would match the amount. As Vidit entered the premises, everyone was very, very happy to see him. And this is how the setup looked, where Vidit was going to play 16 opponents with 45 minutes on the clock for himself, 45 minutes for the opponents, and there was a slight twist at the end. I was going to host the show, but before we began, we had a small video clip. GM Vidit Gujrathi, as on today, is considered one of the best players not just in India but all across the globe. He's currently rated 2721 and is ranked number 24 in the world. But his journey towards becoming an elite GM is one of grit, determination and hard work. Born in 1994 in the city of Nashik to Drs. Santosh and Nikita Gujrathi, Vidit took naturally to chess at a very young age. He won the World Under-14 title in 2008, and at the age of just 14 years became an IM. By the age of 15, Vidit had already crossed 2500 on the ELO scale and was very close to becoming a grandmaster. The next 3 years, however, were extremely tough for the youngster. He couldn't achieve his final GM norm. After many misses, he became a GM at the age of 18 years. In the next 4 years, Vidit worked extremely hard, and at the age of 22, became India's youngest ever Super GM, ELO 2700. He won the Tata Steel Challengers in 2018, thereby qualifying for the Masters section next year. In 2019, he beat former world champion Vladimir Kramnik, which till date is one of Vidit's favorite games. In 2020, when India won the historic gold medal along with Russia in the online chess Olympiad, Vidit was not just a player but also the captain of the team. Known for his amazing positional sense, Vidit has been accepted in the world of chess as one of the best strategic players. His positional understanding is right up there with the best. With all the young Indian talents rising post-pandemic, it was not at all easy for Vidit to hold on to his India number 2 spot. And very soon he was overtaken by Gukesh, Arjun and Prag. This is when Vidit reinvented himself. With fearless play over the board and unleashing an unrelenting will to win, Vidit transformed into what famously came to be known as Vidit 2.0. He played at the FIDE World Cup 2023 and reached the quarterfinals. If he won his match against Abbasov, he would qualify for the Candidates 2024. However, Vidit lost that match and was eliminated. Not losing hope, Vidit famously won the FIDE Grand Swiss tournament at the Isle of Man. After losing the first round, Vidit played like an absolute monster in the tournament, scoring 8.5 points from the remaining 10 games to clinch the title and book a spot in the Candidates. In January 2024 at Vakanzie, Netherlands, Vidit played some brilliant chess to beat Nodirbek Abdusattorov in the penultimate round. With this, he crossed 2750 on the live rating list and also became India number 1 for a brief period. At the Candidates tournament in Canada, Vidit performed quite well and was in the running for the top spot until the 10th round. For Vidit fans, the event will be remembered as he beat one of the best players in the world, Hikaru Nakamura, with a score of 2-0. Vidit very recently provided a stellar performance for Team India and played a pivotal role on board 4 to bring home the gold medal at the Chess Olympiad 2024 in Budapest. As Vidit turns 30, there have been some important developments in his personal life. He's now engaged to Dr. Nidhi Kataria and will marry her very soon in April 2025. And while everyone thinks he will slow down, guess what? We are pretty sure that Vidit 3.0 is just around the corner, waiting to be unleashed. It's an honor to have Vidit amidst us. Let's give a huge round of applause to one of the absolute gems of Indian chess, Grandmaster Vidit Gujrathi. After this introduction, it was time for Vidit to know his opponents. We went across the entire range of players. This is Sambasivam Ganesan, who is here, who is a big chess lover. Then we had Dhananjay, we had Aditya, Rohan, we had Hormast here, and then Abhinav. He's a rated player. Rajveer, who's just 6 years old. And Shreya, who's a big fan of Vidit. We had Naina, and next to her is Narayani Marathe, who's under-8 Asian champion currently, and she got this wonderful opportunity to play with Vidit. We asked her if she had prepared. She said no. This is Akshat from ChessBase India. Vineet, who is quite a strong player, as we will see later in this video. Umesh from Ambit. Then we had, he actually played the best last time, and so we asked him if he was ready for yet another fight. This time we had Manthan from Ambit as well, and lastly Rinku, who got to know only 30 minutes ago that she was going to face Vidit. So these were the 16 opponents, and we also had Grandmaster Swayams Mishra, who was present there, who had just come to watch. He had a training session here in Mumbai and decided to join us. Vidit actually began with many different moves on the first move in different boards, but his strategy was pretty clear. Play 1 e4 against weaker oppositions, and those who are rated try to play solidly. And actually, These are some of the positions that we had. Now look at Manthan's position. He's almost getting checkmated on f7. That bishop on a3 is just brilliant there on the long diagonal. We had Rinku, who's in big trouble. She's already lost her queen. Bishop h6 is a nice strike by Vidit. If you take the bishop, the knight is hanging. Vinit actually played really well in the opening and in fact put a lot of pressure on Vidit. Umesh also played well. He has the typical Queen's Gambit declined. Ashutosh had just begun. He came late and he took the space of someone who had not arrived. So that was the Scotch opening there. Akshat had an IQP position, slightly worse but playable. And Narayani played the opening really well but then lost a pawn. But her rook on c2 is very active. Naina has lost her piece, so here Vidit was better. On Shreya's board, Vidit did manage to trap her queen. So although she is a strong player, she went wrong here and Vidit got a winning position. On Rajveer's board, the king was already being hunted. And Abhinav actually played quite well and it's early moments in the opening and he had a nice position there. We have Hormas who just lost a pawn in the center of the board but still quite some fight left if he long castles here, which he did during the game and had a decent position. There he is explaining to us that he would like to long castle in the position. And we had Rohan here next board who we had a very nice conversation with. Rohan says why don't we just make it Vidit's move and instead of Vidit's move your move and just take rook takes e1, but Vidit was not happy with the idea and he took queen takes e8 and checkmated him. Aditya was fighting quite hard but he also was down on material and Vidit had a good position there. I would say, well, he's maybe a piece down there. No, in fact, a rook down. And Dhananjay played pretty well out of the opening. And Samba Sivan was also a piece down. So Vidit was actually acing this simul pretty well. He was, there you see, there's a mate on e7, the king can't go long side, the king can't go short side, it's almost checkmated. It seemed like Vidit would ace this simul, but it was time to step up the difficulty level. We asked Nidhi to make one move on one of Vidit's board, and to give you some context, Nidhi has never played chess before in her life.
So let's see what Nidhi comes up with here. And I see Vidit.
That's one.
Vidit, you have to trust your partner.
He'll kill my.
Yeah.
Nitin, please help, man.
We are going to get married.
Don't smile at me.
And I'm going to make an entry in the wedding.
No. Oh my God. Vidit is like, I'm going to make an entry in the wedding. How am I going to make an entry? I think Vidit, you will come walking, I think. No? He's trying to point the piece.
Problem was I still don't get it.
Basically, you're the queen, he's the king.
Yes. So the rook moves straight.
No, this one is can't.
No, they can't. You can move anyone.
While she's thinking.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah, whatever you're feeling.
Just go for it. हाँ कुछ भी करो.
The best move on the board. Best
Oh my God! Vidit just fell in love with you all over again. That's the best move. Look at Dhananjay now. क्या ही फर्क पड़ा Vidit?
Because ये बनना चाहिए ना.
हाँ.
For me, this was the highlight of the simul. We had Nidhi, who had never played chess before, finding knight f7 check, and that was simply unbelievable. Very soon, one by one, players started to resign and the score stood at 10-0 for Vidit. Here, Samba resigned because rook takes c6 is met with knight e5 check and he would be a piece down. In order to make the simul even more difficult for Vidit, we decided that he would play the remaining 6 games blindfolded. Now, this is not going to be easy because Vidit had never done this before. He had to remember all 6 positions, and if he made an illegal move, he would lose the game. And knowing Vidit's track record of making illegal moves, this was not going to be easy. There he is being blindfolded by Nidhi from Ambit, and while Vidit was being put the blindfold, he said, "Oh, wait a second, I just want to have a final look at that one position." So he looked at them and then he was ready to go.
Rook takes g7. Can I play rook d e1?
Rook d e1 by Vidit. And on board number 6, the move was d takes e4.
Queen g5 checks on board 6.
Oh! Wow! Vidit finds the best move there.
Board 1 has been played g6.
Rook to h1 board 1.
In case you please protect
Wow! 25 made. Amazing. Round of applause, guys. Vidit had won one more game here.
It was absolutely incredible to see Vidit the way he was playing. Here he checkmated his opponent with queen e5, and very soon we were left with only couple of boards. I wanted to ask Nidhi what she thought about this, what Vidit was doing here.
Yeah, I think in memory, board 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even with eyes open, I cannot really understand everything, but Vidit is doing it with eyes closed here. He's thinking in his head. So he has no look at so many possibilities. Go for it, Umesh. You don't have only 20 seconds.
check. And then he takes this. Oh shit.
Bishop e8.
No, give a check.
Vidit that is move ready.
Then this pawn is fine.
King d7.
Bishop takes d5.
And Umesh has his last 1 second. And he loses on time.
Aditya Joshi won the silent auction and got this chessboard with him to take back home. We are truly grateful for his support towards Indian chess. And while this ended, we had something more in store for us.
Narayan. Whatever Narayan is next 1 year's cost for the training is
Wow.
What happened there was absolutely stunning. Ashok Wadhwa, the founder of Ambit, decided to support Narayani for all her expenses in 2025. And then we asked Vidit as to how he felt about the simul.
How did you do it? How did you remember 6 boards?
I went in a sequence first of all from like anti-clockwise. So I made a note in my head which board is what, and then I had already decided some moves on the board like rook b1 and rook this way, and on the board 4 I just made it simple like just moving the pawns, bringing to the so that I don't mess up. So I had some tricks like that.
Like last year, Umesh was the last man standing, and in the end, Vidit won his game and won the simul with a score of 16-0. And then, after the simul, we had a nice dinner, and Vidit then sat down to play another blindfold game. Today was a day of blindfolds for Vidit. This time against Karan Wadhwa, the director at Ambit, and Vidit's moves were being made by Narayani. We had a Sicilian in that game, and Karan is quite a strong player. He loves chess a lot, and he decided to take on Vidit here. You can see Vidit played g6, and here Karan could have actually broken through with the move f5, which would have been a very strong attacking move. He hesitated a bit by bringing the queen into g4, and very soon Vidit got a very nice position. Here there's a nice tactic with which the game ended. And the move now, as Vidit thinks a bit, try to think what's the move here. a2, yes, sacrificing the queen on c6 so that a takes b1 is the birth of a new queen in the position. And if the rook moves away, the queen on b5 is hanging. Vidit now took on b1. The bishop came back. But now the position is lost, because Vidit can bring his rook to d8, and then the rook will move on onto d1. And first, being very safe, brings the king up to g7. Now rook d1, and Karan resigned there, which was another nice game for Vidit. Just spending these few hours at the Ambit House was amazing. You can see here they're analyzing the game. The thing which you realize is that this place loves chess, and they want to support chess, and they are doing that in a very nice way. They're supporting Vidit as their brand ambassador. Now they're supporting Narayani. They decided to raise funds for Help Chess, and just this entire atmosphere of the simul is so beautiful. So big thank you to Ambit, and also very soon we are going to start the Ambit Chess Club, which is going to take place on every weekend in the Ambit premises, and this space they are ready to open up for all the chess lovers of the city, where there will be tournaments, sessions and everything held. And here you can see how Vidit is analyzing, because he said that after king h8, f5 loses its power because somehow the rook can come to g8, and we were still trying to analyze whether there's a mate on h7 or not. And you can see there Vidit saying the f7 pawn would be hanging. So, it was not just all fun, but also a lot of analysis there. And that ended a beautiful day of the Ambit Simul at the Ambit House here in Mumbai. And we hope that you will visit the place starting 18th of January and come there on weekends to play chess.